go.
She's jumping on it. She's screaming at
And
us.
please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Approval of minutes, January 27th.
Move to
I'm
approve
going to make
minutes
a
of January
correction, I'm going to make a
27th,
correction to the
2026.
minutes, even
You
though I
can make a
wasn't
correction
here,
as soon
that
as
says I
make a
was
motion.
here.
Well, you are marked absent, but then you called the meeting to order.
At the-
That's,
There
yeah,
you go.
that's my bad, copy and paste.
It's a great feature, though.
Move to approve the minutes of January 27, 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? 5-0, all right. New business, notice of road postings.
I'll move to approve the list of roads to be posted on February 28, 2026 through May 15, 2026.
I'd like to add my road to it.
Is that a second, Bob?
There's three of us on Route 302 that would like to do that as well.
There you go.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote on it. All in favor? 5-0. All right. Abatements, supplements, and denial of abatements. We have an assortment right here.
Well, it's a very small list.
And fortunately, it is a very small list.
Very good.
So, we have done well after our evaluations.
Do you want to do them one by one, or do you want me to read all three?
Oh, all three works.
Okay. Move to approve the recommended February 10, 2026 tax abatements totaling $2,932.06. Move to approve the recommended February 10, 2026 tax supplements totaling $529.29. And move to approve and sign the recommended abatement denial letter for map lot 7-17-B-13.
For, second.
Any discussion? All in favor? 5-0. Road name request. Seawall Lane at map lot 19A-42.
I would move to approve the road name Sewell Lane.
Second.
Any discussion? No? Hearing none, all in favor? 5-0. Any committee liaison reports?
Well, we are still urging anyone interested in sustainability and energy efficiency to see Ashley in the town office and get a application to join us on the SEEK committee. Jerry and I had a very productive meeting with Ashley Millett and her new colleague Jane yesterday, and it's looking like we are going to start doing some outreach about thinking about the transfer station design. Don't get too excited yet. And then, Don, I was wondering if we could maybe put on the next agenda an update about progress that's been made about the wastewater pricing, the wastewater situation. When
Have we heard
Ron
anything,
Smith
I
was
guess is
here.
really the question. Have we heard anything from Ron Smith?
Ron is been caring for his critically ill sister
Oh, that's a shame. I'm sorry to hear
for
that.
quite some time now, because I contacted him a month ago, and then 2 weeks ago, and then I felt I should not do it for a little bit, so I don't think there'd be anything in the next meeting.
Okay.
But he knows the urgency, and also the question you've asked many times, if that ties in with the audit for 2024, and that's a piece that's got to be in the audit, so we're doing our best to handle those things. If I get an update and he can come here, I will let you all know, but I'm not sure that's going to happen the 24th. But thank you, I will continue my best.
I'm just communicating that along from people who continue to
Oh,
ask. So I just want to keep that in the forefront, and let
It
people
is.
know that we are working on it.
Oh, and they're contacting me too,
I'm sure.
but I appreciate that,
Thank you.
yes. And I thank you for mentioning it, because it is an issue that needs to be somehow addressed. Yep,
And Don, you don't know this, but I know you're working on the budgets.
Yes.
And in the past, the wastewater budget came way late, like after, like it was a separate entity. Like there was the wastewater budget and there was the Salmon Point campground
Yeah.
budget. And last year, while they didn't come concurrently with the budget, they came very soon after, which was a much better timing.
yep.
And I'm hoping we can hold to that timing.
Well, I mean, I know we haven't had a chance to talk about, my management style and budgeting, but I recognized that the wastewater budget should be a separate budget, because there were things in there that were commingled. I'm going to be kind here. And we have made strides to remove some of those things and to have Howard as a department head with a department by itself, which I think has been needed for a long time. And the timing is right to do that. So that's what we have done, and he's met with us. I've met with all the department heads at least once. He was part of his discussion, and Salmon Point was part of that discussion. And they are included in the way that we're moving ahead.
Perfect.
Now,
That's good
but
to-
the
good to hear.
sewage thing is,
Yes.
with what you're concerned about, is something that I don't have an answer for. But as far as those things, they are going to be part of this.
Excellent.
Hopefully, they look good, and we're gonna do our best. Thank you for mentioning that.
That's all I've got.
All right, any other committee liaison reports before we move on to project updates, which seems to be an unusual spot on the agenda, but project updates it is. Is there any project updates? Done.
No,
Okay.
I don't believe, unless somebody's doing things they're not telling me. There's none tonight, anyway. Okay.
It's entirely possible.
Well, it's very possible, that's true, but no, right now, I think we're okay.
All right. All right, public comments on town business. Each speaker may be limited to 3 minutes. Is there anyone who wants to make any public comments on non-agenda items of town business? And
Yeah, come on up.
Well, good evening, Chair and members of the board. I'm Ashley Millett. I'm the Director of Community Development for the town. And I came tonight to introduce you to our newly hired Deputy Director of Community Development, Miss Jane Scammon. We went through a very thorough recruitment process that yielded a lot of applicants. There was a lot of interest in the position. And out of all those applicants, we only interviewed a handful of individuals. Jane was one of them, and she really stood out amongst those we interviewed. She did a fantastic job, so I wanted to personally introduce you to her to you all and to the public as well, so that everyone knows who she is, and I'll let her kind of introduce herself very quickly.
Hi.
There you go.
I think she did a great job. I am, I've always lived in New England. I was Massachusetts born and raised. But we've always, the entire time I've been married, over 30 years, we've always spent all of our time in Maine. So it was just a dream come true for us to finally get to move here and even further to become a part of the community. So I'm looking forward to what I can do to support Ashley and you and the town.
During the interview process, I think everybody here knows that I ask all sorts of questions, and one of the questions was, where do you live? You're here, and we found out that she purchased Jenna's home. What are the odds of that? I could not believe
And
that.
it's funnier still because although I grew up in Massachusetts, the last 5 years we were in Florida. We were helping my mom. And it was almost like we should have just switched houses, because she went to Florida and I moved here, but, yeah, I got the better end of the deal.
Well, welcome, and I hope we challenge you
Yeah.
in a good way.
Forward to it.
In a good way.
So far she's meeting the challenge. It's been a really busy couple of days and it's been a whirlwind and she's keeping her head above water, so I'm happy about that and.
So this means I can't use your desk anymore.
You can anytime you're ready.
I've been using your office to do the warrants. I gotta go back to the cubby
No,
again.
you can do it. I'm here. It's mi
No, we're very,
casa,
very
su
happy to
casa.
have you.
Yeah, so please feel free to drop in anytime and
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Right? Any other public comments? Going, gone. All right. Select board comments and discussion items. A, future Bridgton Community Center.
You'll get there.
I'm Steve Morissette, and I guess I'm the president of the Community Center Board. It's a dubious honor. And tonight we have Erica Young, Elizabeth Roth, we have Darcy, and Phil Tarr from the board here. And they're going to give you
You got
all more
one other.
information. Excuse me?
Elizabeth, oh, you did say Elizabeth. I'm
Roth,
sorry.
yeah. If I forgot her, she'd hurt me, so I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. I wouldn't let that happen to you, don't you worry.
say my last name, you just said Elizabeth.
I sputtered something.
He did. He said your last name.
We're here for good reason. The community of Bridgton is growing, and the services that the community center is providing are growing faster than we can stand it. It's unbelievable. And we need to make some changes in how we're going to accomplish the future growth in this whole process. So we are announcing that we're going to be making some plans. We want you guys in on it to understand what's going on and to help back us to get the publicity we're going to need to make this happen. Because we want to add a lot of new programs and to service the community. And we also service people from other communities around here. Darcy had a list today that we went over. It's surprising how many people from different areas are being serviced by our boards, our community service center. So I'd like to introduce Phil Tarr. He can explain a little bit more of what's going on, and I can sit down. It's all yours, Phil.
Thank you.
Good evening, guys and ladies. It's been a while, but I've enjoyed many meetings in this building, right from the start, and I recognize Bob as being one of the people that helped build this building, so it's nice to be here. What Steve mentioned is certainly something that's on our minds and has been for quite a while. It's such an important entity to this town, and we're overwhelmed in some respects in being able to serve the public. For example, our senior citizens Wednesday lunches have now surpassed 100, and we've taken on the responsibility of people that cannot make it to the community center for lunch. We'll deliver it to their home, and that's all done by volunteers. So I'd like to give you a little bit of history. Community center evolved starting around the year 2000. It's a former Army Reserve center. When the Army Reserve relocated, the Army offered it to the town. It was a little bit of an experience, as Bob will probably remember, working with the Army, but we made it, and shortly after, a board of 15 Bridgton residents began the community center. And it's been some great boards, some great people that have worked on the board since then. And for the last 25 years, the center has survived and done so very well. we're looking to see what we want to do for the next 25 years. There's probably a lot of information in the town that we don't get, we don't hear. We see the people that come to the community center, but we don't necessarily get the real information that people are thinking and what they would like to see for services. So our approach to this, and our board is unanimous in its approach, is to do it very professionally, but do a comprehensive study, very similar to what the town has done with its comprehensive plan. And this should give us the guidance that we need for the next 25 years. And I'm sure that during that time, and we don't know when or who it will involve, but that community center will take on a different appearance, a different mission as the town evolves. It will just happen naturally. So our way of doing this is to go out for a professional engineering firm to do the study. We do have the financial resources to do this, and it's probably a process that'll take about 6 or 8 months to complete. And out of that, we expect to be able to put our fingers on places that we should be focusing on. So, this is a matter of something that we're really committed to. We have a great working relationship with the town and with you people and with Donnie and Judge Ann. We fully intend that to continue. We haven't taken the step to start the study. We're ready to do it, but before it goes out, we needed to meet with you people and get your support, hopefully, and then we're off. And I'll be happy. Oh, one other thing, if we do have a steering committee that we're putting together, this will be a group of 5 people, and we invite the Board of Selectmen to provide a person, hopefully one of you, and if that doesn't work, appoint a member of the community at large, and it will be part of the process. So we've got that communication with you and with the town. So I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have.
I like Donnie, I'll always have a lot of questions, so. Starting with the engineering firm study, when I hear the word engineering firm, I always think that they're looking at the physical plant as opposed to like what the mission is, and I'm a little confused with trying to understand what the mission of the community center is versus the physical plant. So maybe you can, I don't know how you're gonna get that feedback. In other words, I know now you have the very successful Navigator program, which is funded from the, community development block grants. The senior lunch program, which, once a week, and also groups come in for the Thursday occasionally. And you obviously have, meeting space. I mean, I know I do taxes for AARP in the space that's there. But I'm trying to get a sense of your thoughts on like what the engineering firm is going to study. Are they studying the physical plant to provide really those services, or are you looking to the community? Because the community expects everything. The community is, when they're stuck for an answer, says, oh, okay. No, you'll be a warming center, you'll be a homeless shelter, you'll be, what is, at least in the near term, the absolute mission of the community center? Do you have a feel for that? I know it's gonna change, but.
We've had 2 long-term, all-day sessions with our board over the last 3 or 4 years, and we reinvigorate our mission, but it remains pretty much the same. So why is an engineering firm involved? Engineering firms go hand in hand with feasibility studies. You're going through one with the fire station. Is it gonna work? Does it meet the needs of the town? So in our specifications, we will require extensive participation from residents of the town. And these folks, whoever it is, know how to do this. And engineering firms very often do the studies that I mentioned. So as opposed to if we just went out and we wanted to collect some information, we probably would be a little bit limited in who to find or who to get. So,
I think part of the thought process, Mr. Tarr, is this engineering firm going to pursue a physical change if you have got what you think your new mission would be, or all the future, assistance in the changing of Bridgton itself, which I think you've all talked about and you've thought about. So is this part of what you're looking at? I mean, I don't want to get specific about, you and I have talked about maybe in the back a little bit, but that was an early discussion that you and I had, Darcy. Is that what your thoughts are, if being included in this? I mean, don't get specific, I guess, but is it a physical addition as well as maybe some of the responsibilities that you know the community is going to need in the future?
yes.
Okay.
Well, maybe Darcy could help by explaining the programs you'd like to put in.
That would be helpful, because that would
Mr. Morris, yeah, that
give a
would
better
help.
feel for what's actually changing.
Yeah.
Go up to the microphone.
You have to go to the microphone. no?
It's all right, you've done that before.
Not everyone
I've seen you
likes
do
it.
that before. Stay there, you're good, you're both good.
So I think what we're looking for when we're talking about an engineer firm being involved too is it's not just the accumulation of information from the participants in the community of what they want, but also to make sure that the space that we have is accessible to meet all of the additional things that we want to be able to do down the road.
What are
So-
those?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, now what are those programs specifically?
So we've been looking at, the community center is very small, and it is appropriate for certain things. But we would like to eventually add things like, I'm like drawing a blank, I'm so sorry, I don't do well public speaking. Things that would be more beneficial, so, working with the hospital, perhaps around wellness, being able to work and add different programs that will meet community needs under those circumstances. Adding a gaming room for our gamers, because they're very limited and crouched into a tiny space. We have a youth program, we have an adult program. It would be nice to be able to separate those things out, or at least have a space that would be more efficient and effective for them. We have art groups that come in, and they are limited to the front room because it's the only one that has natural light. So if we can expand on, the
ability to be able to facilitate things in a better situation, then we would be able to expand the different types of programs that we can offer. So, we've talked about, what else have we talked about? We've talked about, I mean, I've traveled up and down the eastern coast. I've been to a lot of different community centers. There's things like Amazon drop boxes that we can add. We want to add, a space for e-bikes and bike rentals and things that people can utilize just inside this community itself with all the trails that we have. We want to be able to support everybody's interests, not just, like the rec department does a great job with the physical aspect of things for folks, but we have a lot of people that aren't just athletic. They have other needs that they want to be met too. So, I don't know, there's a list.
There's,
That would include after-school programs for the kids.
Yeah.
That would include computers, work, a number of different things.
Yeah, we can expand on a lot of things. We don't feel like we're providing enough because we don't have the space to be able to do it efficiently, I guess is the concept.
But Bob, I think had a question, his hand up first.
So you're going to be changing the facility itself, the building, you're going to add to the building?
We don't know yet, that's why we want to do the study. We want to know what's available that would benefit Bridgton itself, obviously, and what people are looking for, and be able to incorporate it all in one.
The other question,
Yep.
the other question is in the future with all the activities you're talking about adding, et cetera, you're only open 5 days right now a week. Does that mean you'll expand the days?
I don't know the answer to that just yet. So technically, we are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. However, the building is active routinely Sunday through Sunday. We have folks in over the weekend for various issues. I'm either up and in and out. We don't have it staffed. The office is not open at that time, but it's always a possibility down the road. Yeah.
Carrie had her hand up first.
It's very commendable what you have done with that community center based on the constraints you have on the physical plant. Is there anything that can be done to petition whoever it is, the historical board, whatever goes back to it being a former armory, that keeps us from being able to actually expand it and alter the facade of it? If you're going to start putting all of this effort and money into it, it's such a shame that we can't do anything with the aesthetics of the building.
So I think, and Carmen would probably have this knowledge more than I would, but 2017-ish, was there some study or something that was done where there was...
You asking me a question?
Yeah, I think you probably would
Well,
have...
if you ask me a question, I could speak. I don't have to wait for him to recognize me.
Oh, that's all, that was mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You have some history around, I think that...
So
they-
previous boards have talked about, always been conversation about expansion. So the Maine Historical Preservation Commission is kind of the hurdle. And what we found out from them back when Mike Tarantino and Steve Collins and Dee Miller were on the board of directors was that we could absolutely add on to the building. However, can't change the facade of the old building, and the new addition would have to look entirely different from the old building, which means, you'd have this new looking addition to an old building that, I don't know, maybe you could spruce it up with shrubs or something. But, so it's not impossible to add on to that building, but they love the windows, they love the brick. It's one of, even though there were 111 of these buildings built across the United States, identical to this one, this is the only one that has existing windows, existing doors, la, la, la. Now, Preservation Commission changes over time. I don't know what their stance would be now, but I'm sure that basic premise that you can add on to it, but it has to look much different,
Right.
is probably still relevant. But I did want to say that having been involved with the community center for a number of years, it's always been a question of, are we providing the services that the town needs? And it's a guess. When you're working inside that infrastructure, it's hard, people will come to you, and one person will say, gee, I wish we could, blah, blah, blah. Well, is that one person, or is it 101 people? And so I think a study of what the needs of the community are, and I would recommend that you kind of look at the
Demographics.
Plan.
yeah, comprehensive plan, thank you.
Yeah.
Look at the comprehensive plan a little bit, that will give you some ideas what people were thinking. Some of their ideas are relevant to the community center. Last time we did a comp plan, I was working at the community center, and I went down through and checkmarked items that were in the purview of the community center. So I applaud that you're thinking about doing a professional study. It's hard to know the demographic is changing in Bridgton a lot. I often wonder what everybody in the apartments are doing, what they do for recreation, what they wish they could do for recreation or enhancement, life enhancement, or basic needs. So I applaud you for doing that planning and doing it professionally. We did a 5-year plan once. It took us 12 hours of some serious haggling. And it wasn't very pleasant. So a professional group to work with can really bring more meaning to it. Yeah, I think this is good news.
A lot of the things you mentioned are really, in a way, things you already do. You just want to do more of them, and it seems like really it's focused on the space. But let's pretend for a second, because I don't know the finances of like how much money you've raised and how supported it is in the, through grants, through whatever, because I look at this, if you have extended hours, certainly if you have an after-school program, all bets are off. I mean, that's a huge ongoing staffing commitment and payroll commitment, and I'm putting aside for a second the fact that, yes, I'd like more room. The community center is not a town enterprise. The town supports it, but again, it has its board, and what do you feel like you could do in terms of raising funds that aren't from the town that would be able to provide, again, let's put the building physical thing aside, to have that ongoing staffing and payroll would be, I think, a hugely significant expense, really way more than the cost of the one-time physical plan. So I guess I don't know enough about what you have for grants other than the ones that come through the town, and I don't know enough about how much money you raise in the community. So maybe you can talk a little about that.
We have had, the last couple of years, some sizable donations. We have a good reserve that exceeds what the cost of this will be. And in a project like this, if it were to go beyond the study part, fundraising becomes another project. And there are resources for private funding, donations. And, there's the federal government. You look at Susan Collins, just funded about 5 fire stations in the state of Maine. Well, that's a resource. And then we have people that do have their own financial resources that would jump on an opportunity like this. So we would, when it's over, and if we decided, along with you folks, what the ultimate goal would be, then we begin the fundraising. But we're confident that it's out there. What I'd like to do is just quickly, this might answer some questions about why we're using an engineering firm. It's a consulting firm, but here are the requirements. Experience conducting community needs assessments and program planning for municipal and nonprofit organizations. Expertise with inclusive community engagement methods. Background in consulting, evaluating community service programs, and identifying emerging needs. Capability to assess nonprofit or municipal facilities for capacity and suitability. Strong analytical and writing skills and relevant professional credentials to do the work. And what we would expect out of the term would be, to begin with, the consultant presents a work plan. What we would look for at the end of it is community engagement summary, determining from the outreach activities the key findings, program assessment report with recommendation for future services and programs, facility capacity report advising the ability of the existing infrastructure to expanded programs, evaluation of the current programming, including recommendations for near-term implementation or consideration, a final comprehensive report integrating all findings and recommendations, and then a presentation to the community. So I think we got most of the bases covered, and we expect really to get good results out of this.
Yeah, my only thought would be that you know, that's a very broad base that almost sounds like a comprehensive plan in and of itself, that maybe you could skinny down a little the direction that the firm took to, you know, say that, you know, this is the property that we have. You know, for example, if they go out under that general direction, people will say, well, can you put affordable housing there? Can you put a 100-person homeless shelter there? I mean, there's some things that are clearly going to arise in the community that I don't think and you guys tell me that, I don't think are going to be things that you're going to be able necessarily to tackle. Mm-hmm. And so I would agree with you that
this would have to appeal to people with the specific needs, as well as the enjoyment and the fun you can have out of facilities like this. And that's probably the extent of what we're able to do. But we welcome your comments, and we're going to work those through the system and see what we can do.
Okay, Bob?
Phil, hiring an engineering firm, do you have the money to do that yourselves? Or do you need the town to provide money?
No, they said they were going to pay for it.
They said they were going to do they said they were going to fund the study.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions?
I would just summarize a little bit and say that what we're doing now is researching the need for the community. Then we'll research the solution. And once we find a solution, put a price on it, and then we research the funding.
I'm sorry, in the back. If you could come up to the mic, I'm sorry, I know people hate to come to the mic, but otherwise nobody can hear you.
Okay, what was your request?
Thank you.
This young lady's going to speak.
That's okay. I was just gonna say, have you guys thought of posting something on Facebook, like a poll, instead of hiring an engineering firm? Just as my husband and I moved to town years ago, and we have 2 small children, and we both own small businesses, and we post a lot on Facebook, and that's how we get a lot of our feedback, and it costs us next to nothing, and that could be a way to start the process without having to hire an outside engineering firm. Is just all I was gonna say.
Okay, that's a very good point. Excellent source.
Can we get your name for the record?
Oh, yeah, Elizabeth Smith.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Any other questions that we can help you with?
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Start the meeting at 5:30.
No, there's no 5:30 meeting. We're at select board comments.
Wow. Well, I'd like to comment first. I love the community center. It's so important, and it's just a wonderful, happy place to be. I'm hoping that Dan is going to give an update on the fundraiser that you're putting together. And I would also like to mention another very unfortunate fire that happened this week at John Matthews Farm, which is right over the Denmark line on 117. But a young couple and a 10-year-old child lost everything they had in that fire. Fortunately, they're okay, but they have lost everything. And everyone in this town goes to Hannaford. And I'm sure you all have seen a beautiful red-headed woman who works at the front. She's always got beautiful clothes on and a huge smile on her face. Her name is Lauren Oliver, and she unfortunately is the woman who lost everything. So there is a GoFundMe for her, her partner, and her 10-year-old son, and they are also taking donations at Hannaford. I think they're getting hooked up with clothes at Jeanette's Closet at the Congregational Church, but obviously at this point, anything that we can do as a community to help this couple to just get on their feet and figure out their next steps would be great. It takes a village, and it's just a really unfortunate situation, and the loss of a beautiful homestead farm, which is really unfortunate too. But let's do what we can. That's all I have.
And for those that don't know, Lauren actually grew up and went to school here in Bridgton. She just happened to be renting a house up with John. So she is a Bridgton native. What Carrie was talking about with the fundraiser, I started, and this has nothing to do with the fire department, but the select board. It's something that I do on my own. I've done many different types of fundraisers over the year. We are doing a spaghetti dinner on February 21st up at the Bridgton Alliance Church up on 117 for the Robbins family. We're still taking donations for our ticket raffle, is what I've been told I have to call it, is the correct term. It says something different on Facebook, but here I will tell you it's a ticket raffle. I've had many, many donations come in, but obviously the more the merrier. I had, a typical fundraiser that's quick, easy way to make some money is spaghetti dinners, because they don't cost a lot. But within the community that we have, I put it out there as a spaghetti dinner. I had a woman call me up who I believe, I don't know if she runs Camp Skylamar, but I believe she does. Arlene was her first name.
She owns Camp Skylamar.
What's that?
She owns Camp Skylamar.
She owns it, okay.
And she is on the select board of Town of Naples.
Okay. She called up, she's donating 500 homemade meatballs. Nick from Stella's on the Square, Maine Catering, he's donating a couple hundred chicken palm dinners. Then I had the general manager of Amato's from Maine call up because one of the family members works for Amato's, actually here in the Bridgton one. They're donating 50 pounds of pasta, all the cheeses, 5 different trays of desserts to go out at the end. So I just wanted to let everybody know that, you know, it's more than now just a spaghetti dinner. It's gonna be choice of meatballs or chicken parm and all these different things.
Don't make Dan eat all the leftovers.
Yeah, please come eat. We did put out there a suggested donation of $10 per person, with the max of $25 for a family of 3 or more. So if you showed up with, 5 people, we're doing a cap of like 25. Generally, people still donate more than that, but we're just doing that to make it affordable. The donations that I have, I know Carrie over here, did a night at the loft, which is right
A night
above.
at the loft with the hot tub.
With the hot tub above the rhinestone room. I've had multiple restaurants donate stuff. I had one lady drop off a hand-painted bookshelf with a chair and a couple cutting boards. I have Afghans. I'm still looking at the legality of it, but I've had a few bottles of alcohol donated. I believe we can do that. I just have to make sure whoever wins the prize, that they're 21 and I don't get visited by this gentleman in the back corner when we hand it out. But I just, again, want to thank the community, for all the support that they've given the Robbins family. Penny and Doug have done so much, and if you weren't here at the last meeting, they had a house fire at 11:45 on a Saturday night. We left there at 5:30 in the morning. We went back to the station, did what we could for a few minutes, and then we went home and got some rest. I got a phone call at about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, that at 7 o'clock, Penny and Doug were up at Hannaford getting the produce from the previous day that they bring to the food shelter. The manager at Hannaford was like, "What are you doing here?" Well, these people need it, It does give them some, obviously, sense of normalcy, but it just goes to show you the type of people that they are. So we're just trying to give back, as much as we can as community members, so. That's the update on that. The only, February 21st at the Bridgton Alliance, 4 to 7 p.m. The other thing I'm gonna plug, because I kind of organize it, is this Saturday, February 14th, down at Highland Lake, is our winter carnival with the polar dip for Harvest Hills Animal Shelter. Runs from 11 to roughly 6 p.m. We have fireworks at the end of the night. The fireworks are being sponsored by Bridgton Hospital, which is huge for us, because it draws in a lot of people at the end of the day to come down, and the company that we have that does the fireworks show are phenomenal. So again, that's Saturday, February 14th, from 11 to 6. We have the horse-drawn carriage rides, food, the winter carnival bar, there's live music. We have, instead of the rail jam that we tried to do, which we thought was gonna be good, the first couple of years was okay, but then it kinda wasn't the greatest. We've made one of the small parking lots, if you're familiar with Highland Beach, you have the main parking lot where the bathroom is, then you have the small parking lot where the boat trailers go. We're gonna turn that into a big sledding hill for the kids. Winter Kids, if you're not familiar with them, they're a program here in Maine, that help out like underprivileged kids and, anybody that needs help. They're gonna come up and run that for us, and they have, donated 20 sleds and a couple other things to have down there, so the kids can show up and just have a fun time over there, so. That's all I got.
Thank you. That was a lot.
It was a lot.
Bob, any comments?
Well, I was gonna say everything he said. Thanks for doing that for me, I appreciate it.
No problem.
No, that was a great announcement you made there. Quick history, going back for the community center, way back when it originally belonged to the Armory, and the Army had, it was Bob Bell and other folks who, that's where they went for their 2 weeks. Duty time was right here in Bridgton. But to get that turned over to the town of Bridgton, first of all, we had Susan Collins that had to be involved in it. had the Army that would turn it over to the town after it went to a vote of Congress to do that because it belonged to the Army and therefore had to get that approval. Took a lot of time, a lot of effort for people to do that, and I get it turned over to the town of Bridgton. And when they did finally turn it over, we had a 5-year gap that they gave us, and if we did not operate it in the manner that we said we were going to operate it, they weren't going to give it to us. As you can see, it went very, very well. The town then eventually got total ownership of it, with one exception, and that's the historical part of it, that we have to have approval when we do anything to the building. So just a little bit of history of the community center.
Comment?
Not to be outdone by Mr. McHatton. I believe you guys started working on the community center before 2000. It was a committee, a very large committee. And the actual turnover of the deed did not happen until I became executive director. Not that I had anything to do with it, it's just how long it took for them to turn the deed over, and it's in your file somewhere. But nothing happens fast with Congress.
That's true.
Not even turning over a building that's been duplicated 111 times.
They can't do a budget, never mind turning over the building.
I was going to say everything that they said
Good job.
and that he said. So this is they've moved it from Stella's on the Square up to the Alliance Church.
No, it's always been at the Alliance.
It was always at the
Yep.
Alliance Church, okay.
Yeah, some people got a little confused when I put the address in, and they thought it was at the Masonic Hall.
Ah, okay.
But it's actually at the Alliance Church, which is just down the street, but it's 368 Harrison Road, which is the Bridgton Alliance.
I actually don't have anything.
I also, remarkably enough, don't have anything to say, other than what all they said, but. All right. Awards and other administrative recommendations. Recognition of town clerk staff.
Hi everyone, board, public, Ashley Albrecht, town clerk. I've been up here a couple times in the last couple months discussing foreclosures, liens and whatnot, but I just wanted to take a moment to update you and recognize the incredible hard work of our staff over the last 2 months. While continuing to balance their regular duties and day-to-day responsibilities, they took on exceptionally heavy workload related to collections for accounts facing foreclosure. This year did present more obstacles than usual. Limited contact information was really the biggest problem when we converted to Trio Web. We lost a lot of our notes that we had been compiling for the last few years. So we were calling neighbors, we were calling anyone that might have any contact with these taxpayers. And they used a lot of creative problem solving to get that contact information gathered. They worked nonstop, tracking down this information, made multiple attempts throughout the couple months and staying on top of every possible opportunity to collect the payments. As a department in general, we do strive every year to keep tax-acquired properties to an absolute minimum, and I'm incredibly proud to report that, due entirely to their persistence, teamwork, and dedication, we have 0 foreclosures this year.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So my team, they are really incredible with taking on that task. And this was in addition to everything that we do already, so I'm really proud of them for being flexible and giving that the dedication and focus that it needed, not just for our numbers and everything, but it feels good in the community to know that we're not foreclosing on any homes.
Absolutely.
The outcome reflects not only an impressive operational success, but also a genuine commitment to public service and supporting our community. So I just want to make the board aware and the public to know how very proud I am of this team and how grateful the town is for the level of care and effort that they brought to this project and to their work every day. So to Sean, Jamie, and Kaylee, who are not here because it's just after the time that they headed out, I want to thank them for their tireless work, professionalism, and dedication. This result wouldn't have been possible without them, and we're incredibly fortunate to have such a strong and committed team. So that's the update I have.
Thanks,
Ashley, you took part of my notes, the manager's notes, but I do want to thank you.
Even better, Ashley.
But I want to truly thank you and your staff. I come in every day and say hello, and then I know what you're doing, and we talk about things, and I know the public does not understand this, just how hard and the effort that you all put in to try to do the right things to help people. And I was so proud that you finally got it down to 8, and then you handled it very professionally.
Days later, down to 0.
You are to 0, so you deserve kudos, and everyone else does too, so thank you.
All right. Town manager, deputy town managers report.
So, the town office will be closed on Monday, February 16th in recognition of President's Day. Bridgton Winter Carnival is this coming Saturday at Highland Lake Beach with feature events such as ice fishing derby, polar plunge, fireworks, drinks and entertainment, s'mores station, and local Maine food trucks. For more information, refer to Greater Bridgton Chamber of Commerce at gblrcc.org, 207-647-3472, and info@gblrcc.org. Town clerk's office, third quarter property tax payments are due on or before February 15th. As a reminder, the town offers a secure lockbox located at the main entrance of Town Hall for payments if you are unable to visit the office during regular business hours. And Ashley, that's the town office, not town hall, town office?
Yeah, that must have been an error.
Yep.
It's right out front of the municipal complex here.
Thank you. Just for clarification, thank you. I'm proud to report that town experienced 0 foreclosures this year. Our team continues to actively work with property owners on delinquent tax accounts with the goal of achieving the same positive outcome again next year. Nomination papers for the upcoming election will be available during the first week of March. If you or someone you know are interested in becoming involved in town government, we encourage you to reach out to the town clerk's office in advance. This allows us to notify interested individuals as soon as nomination papers become available. From the Bridgton Code Enforcement has experienced a seasonal slowdown during the winter months and has processed 37 permits year-to-date. As the spring construction season approaches, an increase in permit applications and inspection activity is anticipated. The Planning Board has remained active with the Code Enforcement Office coordinating with scheduling several applications for review. The office continues to work closely with the Planning Board, Town Manager, and other town departments to ensure applications are reviewed efficiently and in compliance with the land use ordinance. In preparation for the upcoming summer construction season, the office is currently focused on streamlining internal processes and improving organization to support increased activity. From Bridgton Recreation, the public ice rink is officially open. Current hours are weekdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Hours remain weather and staffing dependent. The rink is free to use with skates available for community use. For public works, sand is available for Bridgton residents to assist with icy conditions. The Town of Bridgton winter sand area is located at the Public Works Garage, 31 Willett Road. Residents are welcome to collect 2 5-gallon buckets of sand in preparation or response to storms or weather patterns that create icy and slippery conditions for their personal residences. Mailboxes and mailbox supports are the property of the main route patron. The town does not issue written permits for placement of mailboxes within the road right-of-way and is placed there at the owner's risk. Our highway department uses care and consideration when plowing snow in their vicinity. Despite this, some mailboxes will be damaged during the snow removal season. In the vast majority of cases, it is the weight of the snow from the snowplow which damages a mailbox. Until next time, be safe and be well.
Thank you. Treasurer's warrants.
Move to approve treasurer's warrants 64, 65, 66, and 67.
Sure, have to be approved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? And now we will 5-0. Now, you had a comment on the last item that I cut you off.
Oh, no, my manager's notes just for a second here.
I'm sorry.
And the gentleman.
Don't worry, I did the same thing to him last time.
Yeah, I did.
Maybe there's something he needs to.
Well, Susie tells me because she watches the meetings, trust me. First of all, thank you all for coming this evening and updating us on things. And I will be meeting with you next Tuesday. Look forward to it, by the way. We have started our daily budget, well, I say daily, our budget sessions, and they are daily, trust me, with different departments and you know, doing many challenging decision-making things, and we will do our best to bring a solid budget to our community. In early March, we will all be in front of this board, and we'll all be meeting and discussing it, so. Nobody's talking about the Salmon Point Bridge project, which this board sponsored and supported, and we're about 80% done. Just thought I'd update everybody here.
Really, good news.
That is good news. And they've been doing it in the winter, which I don't understand, but that's fine. That's why I'm not in the contracting business. I did meet with the Harbor Master Committee Chair, Trish Morrissey, this week. And she plans on coming to the board to give you all an update soon. Just thought I'd let you know. Jane, thank you for coming on board. Appreciate it very much. We look forward to your expertise and helping Ashley out as well. So that's a good thing. The one thing that you mentioned, historic preservation, and I won't get into this too deeply, but one of my previous lives, I worked for, obviously, for New York State Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation. And I knew the head of Historic Preservation personally very well for the 5 years I worked there. I can tell you that that piece of this puzzle is very challenging. I will not use a language because we're on television of how I felt sometimes, but you know, Carmen touched on it a little bit and other folks, and what you go through for the windows and the doors and everything else, and I just wanted to add my 2 cents that I understand that piece of the puzzle a little bit too. But if we're patient, unlike I was years ago, I believe that we'll get through all of this if some changes are made or things are needed. So I've got full faith in that. Other than that, I don't have much else, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. All right, we've done treasurer's warrants. Dates for the next meeting. February 24th is our regular meeting. March 4th at 8:30 and March 5th at 9 o'clock are the 2 budget review meetings, and those are public meetings. So they are long and tedious but important, and I urge people, if they have concerns or thoughts or anything, to try to squeeze in time at those meetings, and if they're unable to attend those meetings, that they at least send in questions or send in concerns that they might have. A copy of the budget, which is generally like about yay thick. There is a public copy of it here at the office that people can consult, look at, peruse, and raise questions. Again, even if they're not able to attend the meetings, although I ideally love people to attend meetings, because I have to.
Yeah, that's true.
And then March 10th is our next regular meeting after that.
Okay.
All right, vote to,
Motion to adjourn?
oh, I'll second that.
There's no more public comment, but you can talk to us after if you'd like. Okay? Sure. I'm sorry.
All right, vote to adjourn?
Okay.
Adjourn.